time for your next whiteboard briefing. Thanks for joining us again. As a reminder, following what we talk about here, you can find some videos of what we have in store for you to get you ready for your workout today. Thursday is active recovery, so there'll be a lot more video to follow as far as mobility and stretching and warm-up is concerned. Not a whole lot of demo today since your workout is pretty straightforward, but let's just quickly talk about your couple options. Then you guys can get off and running literally. And then watch that warm-up video. So you have two options today. Feel free to do them both if you are so inclined to do so. The option one is going to be a death by 10 meter shuttle. What we mean by that is you're going to need to set a clock to beep every minute on the minute. And in that 60 seconds, you're going to start with a 10 meter shuttle, right? Which is really about 30 feet. It's not going to take you very long. So what you need to do is you need to find a 30-foot space that you can go ahead and shuttle back and forth between. So on that first minute, you're going to do one shuttle, you'll rest. You'll literally have 55 seconds of rest. It's not going to take you very long. On that second minute, on that second beep, you're going to go there and back twice. Again, you're going to have a lot of rest time in those first few rounds. Beep 3, go down and back 3 times. Beep 4, back 4 times. Beep 5, 5 times. And so on and so forth. And then your goal is to just keep that clock beeping and try to do as many 10 meter shuttles in that minute as you can. It's going to get super spicy right around that 12-13 minute mark. And we've done this, I think maybe a year or so ago, and we had some people get up into the 20-21 minutes where they're doing their 10 meter shuttles 21 times within that minute. So again, you can kind of get after that. Pay attention to the warm up in the video to follow, because since you're going to be doing a lot of quick change and touch and go and things like that, you're going to want to make sure your hamstrings, your ankles, your hips, your back, all that is nice and warmed up. And then option 2, again, this would potentially be maybe a little bit spicier. Depending on how hard you want to push it. This can be done a couple of different ways. You can make it spicy if you want to. You can use it purely for active recovery. But we basically want you to do 2 forms of cardio, okay? Depending on what you have access to, running, biking, rowing, skiing, walking, jogging, whatever it may be. If you have the implements to do a meter and then a calorie, go ahead and try that. 500, 400 men's and ladies, 40, 30 calories men's and ladies. And then you will do one and then the other, and then you would rest 4 minutes. If you don't quite have those specifications, but you want to get some max effort cardio in, do 2 minutes of one cardio movement, followed by 2 minutes of a second cardio movement, something different, max effort for both of those, and then you'll rest for 4 minutes. So one way or another, it's going to be effort, max effort, work and rest, and you're going to want to go through this for 5 rounds, right? And try to get some cardio in that regard. So again, there's your options for today. Hope you enjoy some of that active recovery, and then we'll see you next time. All right, guys, follow along as best as you can. I'm going to walk you through some mobility warm-up before your WOD today. Think about the breathing, right? So as we work through some of these stretches, just really focus on inhale and exhale to try to elongate your movement and push you through some stoppages in your range of motion and tightness that you feel. So this folded in half position is super important. We want to just relax the upper body, let gravity start pulling you towards the ground. Straighten those legs as best you can without hyperextending the knee. Keep a soft bend. You can even wiggle those hips a little bit. It'll start to wake up the lower body just a touch. And then after taking a couple deep breaths, we're going to slowly roll up. Then we're going to go back. Take deep inhale up, arms are going to go up. Exhales, arms come down. We'll do inhale up, arms come up. Exhales, arms come down. And then we're going to work through these big hip circles. This feels good on your lower back and it's hitting some nice tight spots. Pause that video and just keep rocking and rolling through these hip circles. Again, focusing on that breath. We'll fold in half again. You guys, inhale, exhale as you relax the upper body, release the neck, look through the knees. And then walking yourself out to the top of your Spider-Man. With that right foot up, you could work through some hip circles, pushing that knee out to the side. Deep inhale, exhale, work through that stretch. When we come back from our Spider-Man, we're going to be at the top of our plank, and you're going to think about rocking back and forth on your toes. And when you're rocking back, you want to really try to drive those heels into the ground. You should feel a stretch in your calves. Then you're just going to rock on your toes, rock back onto the calves. And then we'll bring our left foot up into Spider-Man. And again, hip circles would be great. We're circling that knee, opening up that hip, thinking about an inhale and an exhale with every step. Back into your plank where you're going to walk rock back and forth on your toes. If this feels good and you enjoy this, pause video, do it a few more times. There's no rushing through this, so whatever you need to do for your warm-up. We're going to sit in pigeon next, so go ahead and bring your right knee up in between your two hands. If you can keep your hips centered, right, without falling to one side or the other, right, our body sometimes wants to fall onto our butt cheek. We want to avoid that, right? Try to keep your hips over your leg. Support yourself as needed with your hands. If you can, walk those hands out and try to bring that chest towards that knee. It's just going to deepen the stretch for you. After you spend some time on one leg, we're going to switch to the other leg. Continuing to breathe through it. One side may be tighter than the other, and that's fine. Again, support yourself as needed with your hands. You can walk those hands out and try to bring that chest towards the knee. It's just going to deepen what you feel on the side of the leg that's in front. Pause the video if you want to hold this for a few more seconds or a minute. Otherwise, we're going to move on. We're going to sit on our butt this time, legs out in front of us, and we're going to reach for our toes. Keeping those legs straight, right? Trying to push the back of our knees into the ground. We're going to fold in half and reach for our toes or our shoelaces or our knees. Something that we're going to aim for is we try to, again, relax the upper body, stretch the lower back, stretch the hamstrings, taking deep breaths. As you inhale, you can exhale and then try to reach a little bit further. Sometimes that helps us get a few more centimeters down on our... Switching gears and laying on my back with my arms out in a T. Just go ahead and take a few seconds and just relax flat on the ground. And then when you're ready, bring one foot across you and try to get it to touch across and on the floor of the other side. Hold that, pause video. When you're ready, unpause, and then you're going to do the same thing, bringing the other foot across your body to the other side. Pause that video, and when you're ready to start again, the next thing we're going to do is bring our knees into our chest, and we'll hold that. And then we'll go side to side again, but this time both knees are going to fall to the right, and both knees are going to fall to the left. Hopefully you're starting to feel even a deeper range of motion, loosening up the lower back. Maybe we feel this up through our shoulder blades. Then we're going to switch gears and we'll bring one knee up to our chest and we'll hold that. Again, pause the video anytime to hold a position. And then you'll do the same thing switching to the other side. When we're ready, we're going to sit back up and reach for those shoelaces one more time. A more dynamic warm-up is going to have us stand up and we're just going to alternate grabbing our heels and pulling it back. Try for maybe 10. After that, we're going to do some calf raises, so reaching up towards the sky, pop onto those toes about 10 times. Then we're going to straighten our leg, pop our toe up towards the sky, reach down for that toe, going back and forth. Similar feel to what a grass picker would be like, but instead of bending forward and kicking that foot up behind us, we're just going to keep our feet a little bit closer together. Bend in half and reach for that toe. Then I'm going to widen into a super wide side lunge, work my way down there, and I'm going to hold it, right? I'm going to just really try to sit into that side lunge position. Go ahead and support yourself with your hands on the floor if you need to. You may be able to get a little bit lower into that side lunge with some added support. Back and forth 5 or 6 times. Feels good. Keep going. No rules here. Then you'll move on to some bootstrappers, so you'll settle into the bottom of your squat, keep your hands on your toes, and then if you can, straighten those legs all the way, lifting that butt up towards the sky, and then you'll find yourself in that bent in half position again. Work through 5 or 6 of these. After the first couple, when you're in the bottom of your squat, go ahead and reach both arms up towards the sky, and then bring those hands back towards those toes, straighten those legs again. Do a few extra if you feel like it. Then when we hop up, we're going to start moving our calves and ankles a little bit more. 20 high knees would be a good place to start. And then you can add 30 jumping jacks after that. Repeat that a couple times. And then you'll go through some side lunges one more time, but again at a little bit of a faster tempo here. So we're not going to hold really, really deep, but we're just going to move from one side to the other. Repeat any of this as you see fit for your workout.